How's it going, everybody? Welcome to today's episode of Weekly Wallet Wagers. My name is David Miller. You're here with Will.
What's up, David?
How's
Baker.
it going?
What up, B?
We've got the Baker, John, with his building connections background. Awesome Weekly Wallet Wagers graphic. We have some current events here for you today. A lot of craziness in the world going on, but there is some things at least that we can talk about that will be interesting, but it'll take our minds off of some more serious things. The Supreme Court ruled that Apple cannot force apps to send purchases through the App Store. This case with Fortnite, they've been taken off of the App Store for a long time because Apple was denying them the ability to have their own store inside of the app that they couldn't take revenue from. And so the Supreme Court ruled that they're not allowed to do that. And so a lot of apps, I think, are going to take that route. We've seen a lot of apps on the App Store take a monetized or monthly payment route. And so I ask you, how is that going to affect a lot of these streaming platforms' revenues? How is that going to affect Apple? How much money do you think they get from those? How is that going to affect one of the largest hardware and software manufacturers in our country, Apple, which is over $1 trillion company now at this point?
They have more cash in the U.S. government than they have had for like since 10 years after they opened, right?
I'm not sure, but that wouldn't surprise me. If anybody could do it, it would be Apple. But
Apple will always have a special place in my heart after how they handled that subpoena deal with unlocking the iPhone. Y'all remember that story?
Yeah.
Is that where the Apple got accused of slowing down iPhones on purpose so people would buy new ones? Did you hear about that?
No. So what we're talking about, this was a few years ago. If you remember, there was some FBI investigation, and it was all over the news. They were talking about it, on the nightly news, Good Morning America. It was a big popular thing, and there was some the FBI had sent it out of Detroit, Michigan, or Minneapolis, Minnesota, one of those northern kind of Midwest, FBI office had sent a subpoena to Apple to unlock an iPhone for an FBI investigation. Yeah, and then remember the CEO or the CFO at Apple went on 60 Minutes and did a 60 Minutes interview and ripped up the subpoena from the FBI and was like, listen, we're Apple. We don't care who you are. Our clients are first. And it doesn't matter if the feds come knocking on our door. We are not going to unlock an iPhone for you because we protect privacy. And Apple's stock and sales went way up. I mean, it was they turned a federal investigation and subpoena into a massive PR event for themselves.
Well, didn't the FBI end up cracking it anyways? They got some hacker group hired and they did it for them. But still,
you were telling me about that story,
And
right?
an Israeli group created a black box that you plug the iPhone into, and it completely unlocks the entire thing. So I believe there's a series of patches, and then they come up with a new workaround, and it's like a cat chasing the mouse sort of situation. But another thing about Apple is that they're actually taking the first steps of all the tech companies that offer hardware that people use for cell phones to restrict the amount of data that advertisers are able to pull from your phone and steal and then sell off. They're creating locks on your location so apps can't tell only within a 5-mile radius of what your location is, so they can't tell exactly where your house is. I don't know if you've ever seen that on Snapchat. You can literally go see the houses that people are at if they have that.
Yeah, it's the spotlight, right? Is what they call Snapchat with all the. Yeah, they've taken maps to a next level, man.
That's a little bit too much lack of privacy for me personally, and so if Apple continues to go in the direction of protecting data, then they'll be my company of choice forever. Forever that I can anticipate, unless that changes.
David, I'm glad you brought this subject back up with us this week on Weekly Wallet Wagers. John's laughing over here because he knows where I'm going with this. We've been working, as I think on converting John over to the iPhone. Since we had our episode last week where we had the debate on it, this week I had our video editor, Aya. Hey, Aya. She thankfully did some recon research with Verizon for John and priced out phone plans and everything. So when John flies here to do some episodes with us in October, our goal is to take him to the Verizon store. Whether he does it voluntarily or whether we have to, kidnap him like you do on bachelor parties, where he like walks out of a restaurant, we pull up in like some sketchy van and throw a bag over his head, and like run him to the Verizon. We will get it done.
First, we're having a party. We're getting an iPhone. I'm getting a tattoo. This is crazy.
Yeah, we got to do that.
I gotta send you what I'm getting. But
You do, but for now,
if we can
John,
have
you're not going to deviate the conversation away from why you're not going to get an iPhone. That's what people want to hear about.
You need to not screw up our group chats.
I've had an Android since I got my first phone, and I've hated every minute of it. But because they're free on pretty much every package you get, I just get one. Because I don't want to pay like $1,000 for an iPhone. Excuse me, for an iPhone.
Well, you can buy a pre-owned iPhone and then just have the service on it. You don't have to have a payment plan if you don't want to.
Yeah, spend like $175 on eBay and go buy like the jailbroken, unlocked, iPhone for Verizon and just pay $45 a month for the prepaid service.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking about doing. I was looking at phone plans in Metro PCS, especially for my carrier. They're offering like 50% off if I switch to them, and they're willing to do like a $25 a month or unlimited data for like 20. It's 24 months, 2 years, for anybody that comes from my company. So I was like, huh, I'm gonna look at that tomorrow. Like if I could drop my phone bill $10 and get a brand new phone, and they give me a discount on an iPhone, like why not?
Hey John, that's a good point. But real quick, quit if you could quit swiveling in your chair. You've been doing that the whole show, and it keeps it's hard for the video to either keep up with you and not make you blurry or catch up with the green screen. So yeah, it helps when you sit still. Thanks.
Dang.
I don't know. I mean, we could banter on about this whole iPhone or Android all day. Y'all, comment on YouTube. Tell us what you think, whether iPhone is better, Android is better. We'll keep talking about tech. And we'll keep trying to convince the banker to switch over. So y'all blow him up on social media and tell him what you think.
Do you guys remember when Samsung came out with that phone that folds, and then there was like a little film on it that people kept taking off, and it would destroy the phone? Do you remember that? I think.
No. What was that called?
Is it the Galaxy Z Flip, or is that the one that's out now? I know they had
the
all
one that
sorts
you
of
were like
issues.
fold it. It was like a book.
How many beers have you had?
I'm too deep right now.
That's
Just
all.
2. Yeah. Look, I'm getting back on the horse here. All right, we're working on it.
Yeah, we can tell.
I gotta get ready for that party in October.
Gosh. Well, at least we'll know after 3 beers we might have to carry you home.
Nah, you also gotta remember the altitude. There's less oxygen up here, so like.
He's blaming the science of altitude, David.
No, it's a serious thing. Well, it's a serious thing. People come up here like, I've had friends come up here and they're like, absolute fucking alcoholic. Or please blank that out. Absolute alcoholics. They'll have like 5 shots be totally fine, 6 shots be totally fine, 7 shots start to get a little tipsy, and then they'll come up here and they'll be like 4 beers deep and they are like piss drunk.
Well, that's when you first get up there, but then the more time you spend up there, you get more red blood cells in your blood that carry more oxygen, and so your body wants to maintain homeostasis, and so you adapt to the higher altitude. I don't know exactly how long that takes, but I'm assuming you've probably been there for a little while.
That's a good point, dude. I was going to say, I'm glad you're talking about the science of alcohol, which is what we're going to call this bit right now. We are blessed enough to have Dr. David from Discover Wellness with Dr. David on the show with us. So as we were talking about the show earlier, David, the science of alcohol would be actually a good episode title, and we could expand on this. We could come drink alcohol in North Carolina and then get on a plane and drink alcohol as we fly to the higher altitude and see what that does. And then when we land in Colorado, we can test all that. I don't know. Like John could be we come up with a social experiment on this, and it could be fun for everybody.
Yeah. What was that drink that Luke got in the airport at North Carolina that he said was absolutely horrible? Was it a mojito? What was it?
What's that, John?
Remember when we shot that emergency episode where I was in North Carolina in the airport, and then Luke got alcohol there, and then he said it was absolutely awful?
I don't know. That's a good. You know what? I'm gonna ask him real quick. Hey, John, give me Luke's number. Let's call it out real quick.
Hold on.
Y'all. Hey, everybody! This number that John's about to give, y'all call this number between 12 a.m. and 5 a.m. any day.
Yeah, Luke is always willing to talk to you, and he would love to hear your opinion on the episodes he started.
Just give me the 7-digit number. I've got the area code.
Okay, 440-0297.
Oh, I already had his number. Started saved in my work phone. That was all for nothing. Y'all see? It says Luke Smith. My bad.
Hello?
Hey, Luke, you're live on Weekly Wallet Wagers with Will, John, and David Miller.
What's up, guys?
Hey!
How's it going?
Money advice, huh?
Well, actually, it's funny. That's actually not what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the science of alcohol and what that does to the body. And so John was talking about how when we went and did that emergency episode in the airport, remember when he tried to sneak in and out of North Carolina without us finding out about it?
Drunk off of one drink.
Yeah, well, dude, you ought to see him on the show right now. He is tipsy off 2 beers. It's hilarious.
Oh, my God.
Okay, I'm not that tipsy. I am not that tipsy. No.
John, stop. Banker.
Oh, my goodness. You know what, Luke? You and we're going to go head-to-head. Shot war. All right? I'm just saying.
Y'all got a couple weeks till that happens. Well, hey, Luke, real quick, I don't want to bug you. John was bringing up, he was talking about when we went and we were at the Raleigh airport and we were at that bar drinking. He was saying that you ordered some drink that tasted terrible that you hated, and we were trying to remember what that drink was. And I was like, we ought to just call Luke and ask him.
Talking about the drink that I like.
Well, yeah, you ordered it. John, you ask him the question.
Okay, I got pineapple and gin.
Sounds pretty good.
Is that what?
It is good.
Did they fuck it up though? I thought you said it was awful at the airport.
Oh yeah, she forgot the pineapple juice, I think.
Is it all gin?
Yeah, it was very translucent. Very, very translucent. What are you guys doing tomorrow? Let's go get some. I think that actually, how about we shoot another segment tonight? We all go downtown and ask people why they're there. Because I want to say, let's place a bet. My bet is, since we're on weekly wagers, everybody can comment on this. My wager is that girls go there to get fucked, and boys go there to find girls to fuck. So, what do you guys wager?
Hey, make sure you blank those out on the Spotify.
I think girls will say that you're there just to be with their friends, rather than just go to the bullshit.
My question is, Luke, are you already down there?
Nope, I'm just left work, so I got some money in my pocket, and I'm trying to get there.
Huh. Well, good luck with that. Well, I'll let you know. We're about to wrap it up here. But that would actually be a good segment to film. That would do well on the way we see it.
I think we should also talk about the outrageous cost of alcohol at clubs and beer and bars and stuff. Because, dude, whenever I go out, clubbing or something, I pregame with shooters, all right? I down 3 of them, and then I let it rip tater chip at the bar. I buy 1 drink, and then I
shut up. If you down 3 of them, you couldn't walk to the club.
This man said rip tater chip.
We were just saying, because John's tipsy here off 2 beers. I was just telling him, if he has 3 beers when he comes with us, we're going to have to carry him out.
Hey, and that ain't no lie.
Hey, shut up.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for picking up, Luke. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Luke Smith from The Way We See It with Will, Luke, Jessica, Banker, and everybody else. We will check back in with him later, but thank you. You got anything else for us, Luke?
No, hey, y'all guys keep it safe and hit them straight.
We will. We'll hit you up after this.
All right, later.
I was like, you guys are going drinking.
That was far more than I expected to get. There was 75% I didn't think he was going to pick up, so I'm glad. Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Hey, I think we should talk about the economy of war because we just wrapped up Afghanistan, right? We wasted trillions of dollars and we gave the Taliban a ton of fucking equipment.
Ooh, that's something I want to bring up real quick. We got a few minutes left, about 5 minutes left here on the show. So, David, John, we talked over the past few weeks. Thank you, John, about what's been going on in Afghanistan. We talked about the horrible deaths, the strategy of the U.S. pulling out, and what we've lost over that. Let's talk about equipment. You bring up a really, really good point, Banker. Is we've spent a lot of money in developing technology for our military, and then billions in manufacturing, production, and distribution. And we do that. We take all this over to the Middle East to fight our war, and then we just give it to the enemy and retreat. Like, I mean, have we ever retreated? Like retreat is not something our military is trained in or is used to, like other small militias may have to be when they fight people like America. Like, I'm curious, y'all. Let's open up a can of worms on this.
Well, you served, so from your experience having been overseas, did you ever in the back of your mind while you were there think about, okay, what happens if we start to lose? Do we retreat or do we stand ground? Like do we hold our position?
Honestly, when I was over there, like my parents and stuff were worried, and like it was so silly to me. I honestly, as a U.S. soldier in the United States Infantry, on a military installation over there was the safest place to reside in that region of the world. Like, I mean, if you're going to be over there in anywhere in the Middle East, be on a U.S. military installation. That's a pretty safe fucking place. Like, sorry for the profanity. We'll bleep Luke's out when we edit this, but but yeah, I mean it wasn't dangerous unless we were out, riding on convoys on roads and uncontrolled environments. But then, I mean, why do you think 18-year-old gun nuts join the military? I mean, that's what they go in for. So, like, I mean, we more were eager for action than we were concerned for our safety, which probably doesn't help this argument. But still, I mean, the thought would have never crossed my mind to give all of our gear over to the enemy. We actually carried grenades with us, and in every trailer and every hunt, like there was always a grenade. And the reason was not to throw it, but we always had explosives at any installation for the reason that if your base is ever overthrown, people are dying, and it's going to be in the enemy's hands. It is your duty as a soldier, with the oath that you take, as your last action, instead of being captured, you are to blow that base up and everything in it, because it has just been code. It has been practice, standard procedure in war since the beginning of time, that if you can't use your equipment, it's better to destroy it than give it to the enemy. I mean, we were doing, every country in existence was doing that in World War II. It's why, like, if it's the same reason that when we crashed that helicopter when we were in Afghanistan on the Bin Laden raid, and SEAL Team 6, they came in 2 helicopters. Well, they crashed one of those helicopters on landing, and so on the way out, they threw a bunch of grenades and blew the helicopter to smithereens into pieces. On their way out, when they all piled into the one final helicopter, you don't leave. I mean, that's just been a rule of war since the beginning of time. So I'm so baffled at why the one exception when we had a retreat was not to destroy the property, but rather give it to the enemy. It would have looked like a waste, but it would have been far less of a waste than turn it over to the enemy.
And I think that really highlights the aspect of the eviction from Afghanistan that highlights the fact that it wasn't planned at all. It seems like this was sort of on a whim decision that didn't include a lot of planning on how to excavate all of the war materials that we had accrued over time. We didn't make a plan to arm the Afghan loyal military militia to us to protect them from the Taliban. We kind of just said sayonara, and we kind of just pulled all of our troops out and said good luck. And that really is not a very good look for our leader, and a lot of Americans are feeling that way. A lot of Americans wanted us to be out of that region of the world, but I don't think anybody agrees with the way that it was carried out. It seems like it has taken a lot of toll on human life, and women's rights in that part of the world under the Taliban is going to be strict Sharia law, which includes them not being allowed to drive or get educated or wear the clothes that they want to in public. And I think if you were conspiratorially minded, if you were thinking that the United States was intentionally arming the Taliban and getting them to take over the region very quickly, that may increase public support for us to actually redeploy in the area with even a larger force if they're posing this large threat now with all this equipment. So it's really baffling why they would make this decision logically to arm them with that level of our material that we spent that level of money on.
Yeah, I mean, David, you bring a good point. I'll just say this real quick and turn it over to John next. About the money, I mean, we're calling this segment the economy of war, right? So with that, I mean, you raised, I mean, about what happens to women, what happens to people over there with the change of law, why it's bad on the military to turn it over to them. But how much money have we spent over there since Desert Storm? I mean, people don't realize, like, all the fighting in World War II and the Vietnam, like, I mean, fighting over there it didn't just start in Desert Storm. But let's just say, you know, for our lifetime span since Desert Storm, how many billions of dollars a year have we spent over there trying to accomplish peace, structureness, and stability? And we threw every penny of that away, and every American life lost, and every Afghanistan life lost. I mean, we bombed a Doctors Without Borders hospital like what 3 years ago and killed all those innocent people for the sake of collateral damage for this war, and everything is for nothing now because we're just giving it right back to how it was. I mean, I just that bigger picture is what blows my mind more than anything, even more than individual casualty deaths, which are still horrific. But
in some of the more malevolent parts of the world, like Russia and China, have already stated that they're going to be willing to work with the Taliban. And so it's pushing the needle in the wrong direction of world peace and stability. And so it really does seem baffling how we would allow this to happen. And where does the buck stop on allowing leaders to make these unilateral decisions that are going to have these wide-reaching negative effects across the world?
The thing that's craziest to me is the fact that the Taliban have like controlled 80% of Afghanistan, you know, for a good, like, I think it was like a month or two before, and I'm not 100% sure, but for it was like a month or two from what I heard before they even like went into Kabul and, like, you know, basically kicked us out. I just thought that was crazy. And you know, I was watching a documentary by Vice. You know, they
didn't kick us out. Our leaders turned.
We
people that they
left.
had commissioned to be over there and put them in a bad spot.
Yeah, we decided to jump ship.
Don't give the Taliban credit for taking over. Give our leadership the rightful blame for creating this situation.
Yeah. Well, that's correct. But yeah, the thing that like kind of upsets me the most is like I feel bad for the women and children. You know, like a documentary I was watching, I think it was by Vice. You know, they mentioned there were some 100 appointed judges, female judges, in the Afghanistani courts, and all of them are in hiding. You know, they are.
Yeah, I mean, they would be executed now, wouldn't they?
Yeah, and yeah. You know,
they're not allowed to be educated.
We got the Taliban, you know, with Black Hawk helicopters flying around with bodies, you know, hanging from the bottom, you know, as like humiliation. It's insane. You know, I just crazy.
It's wild. Well, thank you both for your information on this tonight. Y'all, please share this episode as well. I think it's important that people hear this, and whether they agree or disagree, it's important to be educated and be able to freely think and have opinions. So thank you both. We have covered some of Apple tech tonight, which is better, the iPhone or the Android, which we've clearly established is the iPhone, as well as the science of alcohol and the economy of war. So, y'all continue to check out Whiskey Wallet Wagers. Make sure to like and subscribe. Y'all can check us out on YouTube at Will's World Channel. Look us up on wherever you get your podcasts at Weekly Wallet Wagers, or visit us at willsworldchannel.com. We would love to hear from you, and we'll see you next time.